sit and stare at the sky. They must all sit and wonder why. I don't know what lies beyond the sky. Where do we go when we die? I don't know. But when it's my time, I'll be glad to go. If I was sure to know you'd be home at another show. But my darling, I don't know. Sometimes I feel they plan, other times I can't understand. I don't know.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Grandpa Grumpy Pants X-World. This week's episode, or this episode, is going to be what to do with your Excelsior Henderson before you get all wound up and wondering what's wrong with it because it's stalling. There's several things you can do to your X before you end up having to reprogram or tweak the program in your bike. And I'm going to show you those issues that you can do. My bike currently is stalling. I'm pretty sure my issue is fuel. Because it's been sitting around all winter, kinda, not really. I've rode a lot, but I still think it's a fuel issue. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to show you what you can go through to check your bike out. So we'll get the 525 in here right now. As you can see, it's not in here, and we'll get it in here and get going. All right, so the first thing you can do before you can get it up on your rack and decide to get into it a little bit is to determine if the clutch is hanging up a little. Put it in gear. Pull your clutch in. Don't start the motor. Just pull your clutch in. See if you can roll the bike. You cannot roll your bike. Your clutch is dragged. Reasons being is that our clutch. No, not reason being. Don't expect it to freewheel is what I'm trying to get at. Our clutches are wet clutch, and they have to have oil running on them for them to really freewheel. But as you saw, I moved the bike back and forth. Fairly simple. It didn't hang up or anything. It didn't drag, so I know my clutch is good or adjusted correctly. Yours may not. If you can't roll it, I don't pick any gear you want. It don't matter. If you can't roll it in gear, your clutch is out of adjustment. And I think I covered how to do that before on a previous video. That's down in here where you adjust your clutch. All right, let's get it. something greater than I'm. But what name does Okay, so once again, we're going to be under the air cleaner. We've been there before on these videos. I'm going to show you how to clean out that IAC, the air idle controller. And it also, I'm sure, gets a little bit carboned up because when our bikes are on the warm-up mode, they're coughing and heaving, and we can't see it or hear it, but all kinds of gas is coming out of that throttle body. You put your hand in front of there or a tissue paper in front of that when it's warming up. It'll be pretty wet by the time that mode gets done warming up. This is my Atlanta EH custom air filter mount. Rumor has it there's going to be a better one down the road. Till then, this one works very fine. Obviously, much better than the factory one. The factory one was plastic. If you get this far in your Excelsior and you're finding plastic air filter holder and base plate and it's all plastic, you want to pull it off now and go get yourself a nice one. And there we are. Okay, so your IAC, air idle controller, is right up here. This is a temp sensor. I don't think there's a mass. I'm pretty sure there is not a mass sensor. But this is your temp sensor here. It mounts on the back side. No need to take any of this off. You could look in here and by golly, you can kind of see. It's a little dirty on the ring. See where that butterfly sits there? And my hand is a little black. Last time I was in here in that video not too long ago, I cleaned that out. So it's not too dirty, but it'd surprise you, especially if you got the K&N on there. Factory cleaner is going to work more efficiently if the mount works and is not warped, and that's why we all changed over to K&Ns. The factory one became warped, or would warp, as it cured and the more heat was applied to it over a period of time. God, I hate showing my bike on video. It is so dirty. And then I get out in the sun and I go, oh, what a pretty machine. Anyway, so there it is. You can actually tear it down further and actually pull it out of there and clean it if you want. I don't think it's necessary. What I do is I take carb cleaner, don't use silicone, carb cleaner, and I just shoot it up in there until the dirtiness doesn't come out no more. So that's how I clean that IAC. To be honest, I think you could probably throw a little silicone in there just to limber up the tube. I don't. As long as I can hear it moving around, I don't get too excited. Let me show you how it sounds. Maybe hopefully the microphone on this camera can hear you. I turn the fan off and get down here nice and close. Get the switch. That's the pump. Now I'm going to turn it off. There you go. Hear that bumping noise? Or burping? That's the IAC. Moving around in there. So mine's good, actually. It's moving around. I suspected it was. But I might as well clean it up a little bit. That's what it sounds like. I got the fan off so we could hear it, and you could hear the pump spinning up. Oh, there's been question about what we're supposed to be listening to when we spin up those pumps. Mine sounds really good, and I'm not bragging, but that's what it's supposed to sound like. If you got other noises going on there, like crunching and grinding, and it sounds like bearings are hanging up and stuff, you may be having an issue on that pump. You may want to consider pulling it, taking a look at it, clean it up, or go to Mike Seastrom's ehparts.net and see about getting the correct parts you need, or if the whole pump possibly. Obviously, as we saw in the last episode with of my channel, Roger is definitely going to have to put a new pump in that. I would highly recommend that. That's really bad. I don't even know if it turns over, but all that junk on it, that's nasty. So we'll squirt this up in there. And that came out relatively clean. Cool. Good deal. You don't want too much fluid running down into the throttle body. You could do a hydraulic lock if you're not paying attention. What I usually have, I knew it was going to be pretty clean anyway, but I usually got like a white piece of paper. You really don't need to. You'll see black come out of there when it's really bad. Okay, so we'll put this thing back on, and then we'll go to the next step. So we got 3 steps. First step was check your clutch, and we did that, and now we just check the IAC, air idle control, and then the next step is going to be the O2 sensor, and I'll show you how to do that. And it's not, yeah, we'll do that next. So, like I was saying, this air cleaner, can't see that. This air cleaner develops a memory and will not go back around that rim. And so, well, look at that. I thought I got it and I did not. So I take this pick and I pull it out to go around that rim. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit and see if it pops it in there. No way. No way. All right. I just got it. I took this pick. I went in behind there and just pried up a little bit and it went right down. Very good. We'll start putting on the old air cleaner cover. Excuse me. Some may question whether I've used Loctite in here. Yes, I have in the past. Will I still? Yes. The threads on these bolts are pretty dirty, so I'm not really too worried about these coming loose. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I don't know if other guys use Loctite on all their bolts or not. But anything had Loctite before, I use Loctite on again, plus a few more. I had an old Honda back in the day. I took a 300-mile road trip with it. Little bitty guy. I don't know, CB350, 75 mile an hour. By the time I got home, I had a bare bones bike. Most of the chrome options and stuff like that fell off while I was riding it. I didn't know it. So it's like driving a motor in two wheels. I had a headlight and the taillight, but a lot of chrome pieces were gone. All right. Next thing you want to check to make sure it's clean, and this I'm pretty sure is dirty on my bike, and we're going to clean it with some brake cleaner also. I don't know that that's going to stop my random stalling or not. Cleaning the IAC and the O2 sensor in the past has helped a ton, and it would take care of it for a long time. My bike's got pushing 55,000 miles on it now, so you know, it's going to have some carbon. It's going to have some issues. It's loose. It runs great. Don't take it wrong. It's far from a piece of shit yet. I'm not going to throw it away. But she's tired. I'm hoping to make, 100,000 on it, and that'd be great. And I know there's been bikes that have made that, X's that have made that, 100,000 or close to it. And guys have done a lot of work with a lot less miles on them, and guys have done a lot less work with more miles. It's just, individual thing. All right, underneath the battery box, every single X I've been on that's factory set up will have this connector. This is your O2 connector. And you want to get that apart so you can get that O2 sensor out. And the O2 sensor's on the other side. So you should just be able to pull down on that and push here and hold your tongue just right, and everything's great. There we go. All right, so it's pull up on this and pull apart. This is your waterproof seal. There's your plug to it. Now, I was told years ago, never ever use silicone around your O2 sensor. So I'm just giving you a word of advice. Don't use any silicone around your O2 device or your O2 sensor, gee whiz. And for you that don't know, here it is. This is your O2 sensor. It's in the rear header pipe. It looks like it's kind of in a high, tight place. It's not bad. If you can get that wire undone underneath the battery box, it'll be a piece of cake. If you can't find it and can't get it undone, it's going to be a real pain in the ass because that wire is going to twist and create a havoc. This wrench size is 7/8. And these O2 sensors are still around. You can go to your parts house. There's a crossover, I believe, on the website, even a crossover number for it. I think this is my second or third one. And my O2 sensor doesn't look that bad. It's a little bit carboned up. Right in here, but it's not where it's an issue. It's up here. And it's a little ashen, but we'll clean her up. Yeah, my thumb turned white there. I don't know what silicone does to these, but like I said, I was told never use silicone around a oxygen sensor. Somehow it ruins them. So I'll get my brake cleaner and a rag. I said brake cleaner, it's carb cleaner. I don't know that it would make a difference, but I'm trying to stay on course here, what I say. So I clean this up a little, I'm just wiping it off. And see, this is what just came off of there just by wiping. See? So I'll spray her down. There's some kind of gizzy in there, I'm sure. That's an electronic probe that deals with heat. Heat and electricity, I don't know how it works, but by golly, it's going to be clean. And you can see some of the color of the metals coming back through here, so that's really nice. And the rest of this is on there substantial. I may have to look at getting a new one here this year. We'll see how it goes when I try something else. All right, so that's your oxygen sensor. Like I said, you can still buy these. You can go down to your parts house and they have them. It's on the crossover list on the form site. It's one of the few items on that crossover list that actually work. Just a note of caution, there are a lot of items on that crossover list that do not work at all. And we're still not real sure how that crossover list was developed or by who or anything. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just know that I had to argue a lot of the items on there, and they're still on there, but it has been noted that they do not work. The biggest reason I found out they don't work is because I had a friend in England with an Excelsior, John Kane. He had a couple of them actually. And he went down to the local Triumph dealer because many of the parts listed are Triumph parts, and nothing matched. Now people are going to say, well, those English numbers are different than the American numbers. They may be, but there was two sets of numbers with a lot of those parts, and neither set worked. Enough of that. I don't want to try not to sound discouraging. All I'm saying is, don't believe everything on that crossover page is going to work. All right, so I got her on there. She's snugged up. She's clean. She was a little dirty, but not bad. I'm running E3 spark plugs. I think some people heard about them. This is my first set on the bike at 50,000+. I'm almost 55,000. I like them, and I could pull them because it's dying off. That would be another symptom easily. But I got a full tank of fuel, and I don't feel like picking that thing up, especially with my silly old back. There's a way to get those spark plugs out special. Anyway, it could be spark plugs, but I don't have. I bet I don't have 5,000 miles on those spark plugs. And so, to me, there's no reason to pull them. But that would be another source for stalling at slow speeds. Notable, when they stall, it's usually when the clutch is pulled in. And they don't do it all the time. People that are new to this channel or new to this information don't believe that they do it all the time. They don't. Only the ones that have an issue and that need to be fixed and rectified, that kind of thing. These bikes, as I've said in the past in my book, are just as reliable as anything else out there. There's nothing notoriously horrible about these bikes compared to anything else out there. They just needed some tweaking, and us as a community, we got that part done. All right, let's go on the other side and plug in that O2 sensor. My bike, it's stalling. It has been only after it's warmed up. So I'm pretty sure it's the trim leakage, or whatever they call it. It's on the Super X tune. Make sure, and I'm looking here is make sure that wire is going to clear, and it clears just fine. And I usually try to tuck it back underneath there, but sometimes I don't want to tuck. That's okay. As long as you know that's where it's at.
Pose his head and stare at the sky. Famous how sit and wonder why. I don't know. my time, I'll be glad